Imagine yourself in a world of uncertainty, economic crises, political disputes, rapid changes that challenge your stability. To survive, you need more than luck. You need strategy. It's in this scenario that Niccolò Machiavelli, over 500 years ago, at the beginning of the 16th century, offered timeless lessons in The Prince. Here at Essence and Existence, we explore ideas that illuminate our journey, and today we'll discover what Machiavelli can teach us about navigating modern chaos with cunning and resilience. Machiavelli wasn't just a political thinker, he was a master of survival, observing how leaders faced the turmoil of Renaissance Italy. His ideas about strategy, power, and adaptation still resonate in a chaotic world where unpredictability is the norm. Could his tactics help us thrive? We'll dive into the lessons of The Prince, connect them to current challenges, and offer practical paths. Stay with me, because by the end you might find tools to turn chaos into opportunity. To understand what Machiavelli can teach us about surviving chaos, we need to step back to the beginning of the 16th century, in an Italy fragmented by wars and political intrigue. As a diplomat in Florence, Machiavelli witnessed the collapse of city-states and the rise of leaders who used cunning to hold power. It was in this turbulent setting that he wrote The Prince, a strategy manual that transcends kings, offering universal lessons on navigating instability. Machiavelli argued that success hinges on adapting to circumstances, like a sailor adjusting sails in a storm. He suggested that a leader must be like a lion, strong and intimidating, and like a fox, clever and flexible. This duality reflects his vision. Surviving chaos requires strength to face threats and wit to avoid traps. Have you ever found yourself needing to be both firm and cunning when facing a challenge? One of Machiavelli's central ideas is virtù, not moral virtue, but the ability to act with decisiveness and pragmatism. He observed that hesitant leaders fell, while those who took bold actions, even controversial ones, prospered. Picture a ruler facing a rebellion. Indecision leads to ruin, but a strategic response, even a harsh one, can restore order. What if the ability to act with courage were essential for surviving our turbulent times? Machiavelli also stressed the importance of anticipating chaos. He advised planning ahead, using knowledge of others as a weapon. To him, blindly trusting luck was a fatal mistake. Chaos punishes the unprepared. This lesson echoes today, where economic crises or technological shifts demand strategic foresight. Are you ready to predict and face life's storms? Machiavelli invites us to turn chaos into a battlefield where strategy reigns. With Machiavelli's lessons in mind, let's see how his strategies manifest in the chaos of today's world. We live in times of uncertainty, pandemics, economic instability, digital conflicts, where the ability to adapt is crucial. Have you noticed how some thrive while others sink amid the same storms? Machiavelli would say, the difference lies in the art of wielding power and cunning to survive. Consider the business world. Companies that tackle crises with Machiavellian strategies, such as strategic cuts or tough negotiations, can stay afloat, while those that hesitate or rely solely on luck collapse. Or think of social media, where content creators who anticipate trends and assert a strong presence build empires, while the passive lose relevance. How far would you go to stand out in the chaos? Another example is modern politics. Leaders who blend strength with flexibility, implementing tough policies when needed but adjusting to social pressures, maintain control in turbulent times. Machiavelli would approve of this adaptation as long as it avoids excessive hatred. Have you seen someone emerge victorious from a conflict because they knew how to play the game? Let's illustrate this with a story. Meet Mariana, a 32-year-old entrepreneur who opened a small shop during an economic recession. Initially, she relied on friendliness with customers, but sales dropped as competition grew. She then adopted a Machiavellian approach. She cut costs decisively, negotiated aggressively with suppliers, and launched bold marketing campaigns. The shop survived, but some partners found her relentless. Mariana reflected, "I managed to endure, but did I lose something valuable in the process?" Mariana's story reflects the Machiavellian challenge. Strategy ensures survival, but demands sacrifices. In chaos, Machiavelli's art is a shield, but also a mirror, forcing us to assess the cost. Have you ever faced a moment where you had to choose between pragmatism and principles? Could modern chaos require us to be a little Machiavellian to thrive? If Machiavelli teaches us that surviving chaos relies on strategy and adaptation, how can we apply this practically without losing our essence? His lessons don't ask us to abandon ethics, but to weave them into a broader plan. Here are 3 practical steps, inspired by the Prince, to navigate turmoil with intelligence and resilience. First step, assess the terrain and adjust your approach. Before acting, survey the chaos around you, whether a crisis at work or a personal shift. Ask yourself, what is within my control? Like Mariana, you might cut expenses or seek new alliances, but adapt to the context. Machiavelli teaches us to be a lion when strength is needed and a fox when cunning is key. Can you identify when to change tactics? Second step, act with decisiveness, but with purpose. Machiavelli valued virtù, acting with courage and clarity. When facing an obstacle, decide quickly, but align your actions with a greater goal, such as protecting your stability or that of those who depend on you. Avoid impulsive moves that breed regret, as Mariana nearly experienced. Plan each step like a chess player, anticipating chaos's moves. Do you have the courage to act even when the risk is high? Third step, balance power and empathy. Surviving doesn't mean trampling others. Wield your power with cunning, but preserve relationships that can sustain you in the future. For instance, when negotiating an advantage, be firm but show respect to avoid lasting enmities. Machiavelli knew that allies are shields in chaos. Losing them to arrogance is a fatal error. What if you could use strategy without sacrificing your humanity? These steps turn chaos into a field where you are the strategist, not the victim. Machiavelli shows us that the art of survival is a balance of strength, wit, and connection. Are you ready to shape chaos to your advantage, drawing on the lessons of a 16th century master? We've reached the end of this journey, and I want you to pause for a moment and look back on the path we've traveled. Machiavelli, at the beginning of the 16th century, gave us tools to survive chaos. Lessons of adaptation, decision, and balance reflected in Mariana's story and modern challenges in business, social media, and politics. His art of strategy isn't about blind manipulation, but about transforming uncertainty into a terrain where you can thrive. The key lies in taking control. Chaos doesn't have to be your enemy. It can be the stage where you test your resilience and cunning. As Machiavelli suggested, being a lion and a fox means combining strength with intelligence, acting with purpose, and preserving connections that support your journey. The question remains, are you willing to shape your destiny amid the storm? What if surviving chaos depended on you becoming the strategist of your own life? Here's my challenge for you. Today, take a moment to plan. Pick a chaotic area of your life, work, finances, relationships, and write down 3 strategic actions you can take using the steps we discussed. Try one tomorrow and observe the results for a week. Start small but with vision, because Machiavelli's art flourishes with intention. If this video inspired you to act, leave a like, subscribe to Essence and Existence, and hit the bell to never miss a video. Share in the comments, what strategy did you use to face a chaotic moment? I'd love to hear your story. And if you want to keep exploring these ideas, check out our video on the dilemma of being feared or loved. Until next time, remember, In chaos, strategy is your power.